Ladies and gentlemen, Trump's big, beautiful bill has passed in the House and the Senate. We have a crypto stablecoin bill that went through about 2 weeks ago. We are getting some of the most bullish news we have ever seen in cryptocurrency. Clear regulation, potential money printer coming into the market. Jerome Powell, the Federal Reserve, will be out of his chair position by the end of this year. Trump is going to appoint someone else who is going to hit that money printer button. Altcoin season should be just around the corner. Bitcoin is testing new all-time highs. Bullish, bullish, bullish. And obviously, the builders are building. And on today's video, we're going to talk about everything that is happening in terms of the most recent crypto regulation. We're going to dive in deep into Algorand's ecosystem and give you all the updates about what's been happening. And then we will go into the Base ecosystem so we can make sure that we're paying attention to the hottest cryptocurrency ecosystem and blockchains in the whole world. Before we begin, I want y'all to watch this clip from Senator Cynthia Lummis, who is leading the way for crypto regulation.
Digital assets themselves would be classified as commodities, so they would fall under the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, but a lot of them are bundled and sold by securities. And in that event, we need the superior disclosure and consumer protection provisions that are provided by the SEC. So it's very much a joint effort. Now, the reason that the Banking Committee is concentrating only on the SEC side of the equation is that commodities fall under the Senate Agriculture Committee. So we're going to have to join those efforts and dovetail them at some point. But for now, we're just putting out a framework of principles that we can follow and then move into the details of the legislation.
Passive income, gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.
All right, Cynthia is talking about getting clear crypto regulation in the United States. She want to make sure, just like Trump, just like everyone else, we want to make sure that the U.S. is the leader for cryptocurrency, it's the leader for clarity in regards to digital assets. So all the companies want to build in the United States. They want to make sure that money is flowing in those ecosystems. So Cynthia Lummis is doing her thing, leading the way. So we want to give her a big shout out. And let's dive in some of the news now. The House announces week of July 14th as Crypto Week. Crypto Week in the United States. That's the United States House Committee on Financial Services with Chairman French Hill. Here's a quote from Chairman Hill. "We are taking historic steps to ensure the United States remains the world's leader in innovation, and I look forward to Crypto Week in the House. After years of dedicated work in Congress on digital assets, we are advancing landmark legislation to establish a clear regulatory framework for digital assets that safeguards consumers and investors, provides rules for issuance and operation of dollar-based payment stablecoins, and permanently blocks the creation of a central bank digital currency to safeguard Americans' financial privacy. I thank my colleagues in Congress and the Trump administration for the partnership and leadership and stand ready to work alongside the Senate as they work to advance standalone market structure legislation by the end of September." So they like, hey, we about to focus on crypto all week. Clear framework for digital assets that safeguards consumers, keeping it safe, right? Rules on issuance, and we're going to dive a little bit more into the stablecoin bill. We're talking about blocking CBDCs that scared everybody a few years ago, especially during COVID. No more of that talk. and letting the floodgates open. That's what's happening there. So shout out to financial services. Now to Cynthia Lummis, she says she is drafting a standalone crypto tax bill. They want to make sure that we have clear tax status or situations for us who are making gains, for people who are losing, for companies, for everybody, so that way that the IRS has a clear understanding what's happening with cryptocurrency. We don't want no confusion. So she's working on that. That's another example and headline of what's happening this week. And then we have one of the most important things that just happened is U.S. Senate passes stablecoin bill and milestone for crypto industry. Now, this stablecoin bill is very important. And here's the 4 summary points that they have in this article from Reuters. Stablecoin bill requires tokens backed by liquid assets. Those liquid assets can be treasury bills, the ones that you earn about 4% from the government, or they can be in US dollars. It needs to be back 1-to-1. That's clear. We like that. Concerns over big tech and foreign stablecoin issuers, right? Walmart was talking about it. Amazon's talking about stablecoins. So we got to have that all situated. Circle just went public. That's positive, but that's what they do is stablecoins. USDC, EuroC for the Europeans. And then the House must pass its version before reaching Trump's desk. So the House is working on something as well. Those will be paired together. Pretty sure they'll pass. Trump will sign it off. We got law. And then crypto industry spent $119 million backing pro-crypto candidates. Cynthia Lummis is one of them. Senator Scott is another. Coinbase dropped a lot of money. A whole bunch of different blockchains and founders like Brad Garlinghouse at Ripple dropped a lot of money. No Sam Bankman-Frieds this time. No Sam Bankman-Frieds, right? We're not worried about that. But that's what's happening. The Genius Act, right? This is good. Democrats, Republicans, I think everybody wants this to pass. Big headline news there. Now, I think this one was very interesting about 3 days ago. This title here from MarketWatch, How Robinhood's Dive into Stock Tokens Makes It a Must-Own Crypto Investment. The financial services platform is making a smart move by getting deeper into cryptocurrencies, analysts say. So Robinhood is tokenizing stocks. That's what they're doing. They're working on Aerodrome right now, and they're going to eventually drop a layer 2 or 3. That's their own blockchain. They're giving investors access to OpenAI, that's not out on the market yet, and SpaceX. That interests me, right? I would love to invest in SpaceX and OpenAI. I don't use rockets right now or nothing, but I'm pretty sure Elon Musk being the owner and founder of SpaceX, getting all those government NASA contracts, their revenue must be crazy. And then we know ChatGPT is definitely something that I've been using all the time. Everybody's using ChatGPT. So Robinhood, they just launched out in Europe, different tokenized assets and ways to use crypto in the European markets. And I'm sure the U.S. is next. And those are the headlines that I think are the most important for this week going into the weekend. Again, happy Independence Day if you in the U.S. celebrating the 4th of July. Now, let's talk about Algorand. Let's dive in deep on what's happening in the Algorand ecosystem. And we're going to start with the biggest and most important news coming out of Algorand. Check out this clip by Folks Finance that talks about the wormhole native token transfers that just come to Algorand.
Today is the launch of NTT, which is Wormhole's native token transfer protocol. Folks has been working on developing this in collaboration with Wormhole and Algorand. Essentially what this is going to unlock is the ability for a token that's on Algorand or on other chains to be natively interoperable between different networks. So for example, instead of having a wrapped or derivative version of a token, which is what historically has been the norm in crypto, you would have, for example, ETH and then wrapped ETH. With NTT, you can have that same token have the same standard across multiple networks. This is much better from a user experience point of view, makes things smoother. It completes the liquidity of an asset in a much more efficient way.
That's a breakdown of what exactly wormhole is. Wormhole is very important for connecting blockchains and getting rid of the clutter, which is the wrapped versions of tokens, all the different things that confuses people. If you're using ETH on Base or Ethereum or Aerodrome, whatever blockchain, Algorand, you just want to use ETH. You don't want all the other letters connected to Ethereum. So if you're using Algorand and then you want your Algorand to be on ETH, you want it to be on Base or something like that, Solana, we can make that happen. That's what Wormhole is saying. Folks Finance, in partnership with Algorand Foundation and Wormhole, has made that happen. This is the biggest step Algorand has made for interoperability. Over time, people have been talking about CCIPT or something like that. That's the one that Chainlink is using and doing. However, there were other options. Wormhole is that the other option. Wormhole is legit, backed by some of the biggest companies, BlackRock's, Apollo's, VanEck, Securitize, AMD, Google Cloud. They're like getting used and backed by these things, right? So Wormhole is the leading interoperability platform connecting traditional finance and the internet economy. And then, a platform that everyone is using is very positive for Algorand. Native token transfers make any token natively multi-chain. Queries pull any on-chain data on demand. Messaging, build your custom multi-chain protocol. So, they're doing their thing with this one. Uniswap's most used multi-chain protocol, obviously. Wormhole was the only unconditionally approved cross-chain protocol by Uniswap's Bridge Assessment Committee's security experts. Very trusted. Security at the core. Wormhole Guardians, that's by 19 validator nodes. Governor and global accountant provided by Gateway. Continuous audits, fully open source. Contributions to industry-wide security, $5 million bug bounty. So they're checking their basis. 1+ billion messages sent, 200+ applications built that use the messaging, 6 runtime supported, and 30+ blockchain supported. Wormhole supported blockchains. Here we are. A fully integrated chain can use cross-chain dApps, decentralized applications, to send and receive tokens and NFTs. It can also publish and verify messages to and from the network, meaning developers can utilize the full suite and power of Wormhole. So you got Akala, Algorand, obviously, that's the whole point of this post here, this statement. Aptos, Arbitrum, Avalanche, Base, Blast, BNB Chain, Celestia, Cello, Dimension, Ethereum, Phantom, Injective, Karubura, Clayton, Mantle, Moonbeam, Near, Neutron, Polkadot, Osmosis, Optimism, Oasis, Polygon, Provenance, PiNet, SEDA, Solana, Snacks Chain, Side, Scroll, Sui, Stargate, and there's more. And I'll tell you right now, I'm a big fan of Osmosis over the years. Osmosis has been using it for a while. It makes it so smooth, so clear of what you're trading, what you're using. It's a no-brainer that Algorand is now in the system, which means Algorand can plug in back and forth natively to these chains. So if you drop a token, a coin on Algorand, you can easily get it to Near, Neutron, Osmosis, Optimism, Mantum, Cello, Injective, and whatnot. So power play there. Now, the one who led the way, got to give them their shout outs, Folks Finance. This is the platform. Lend, borrow, stake, trade. Folks Finance is a community-driven, decentralized platform providing permissionless DeFi tools across multiple networks. Let that sink in. Folks Finance is, as they say, one of the last hopes of Algorand's DeFi community, DeFi network. Folks Finance has 132 million TVL locked. It's available on Algorand, Avalanche, Ethereum, Base, BNB, Aerodrome, Polygon, and Monad. And then Folks Finance products, X-Chain. Y'all let me know how you feel about X-Chain. But move between blockchains with ease, deposit and borrow assets across multiple networks using Folks as your portfolio hub. So you go to Folks, click on the X-Chain, say you make a deposit on Ethereum, you can withdraw something on Base. You can deposit on Avalanche and withdraw on Aerodrome. That's how it works, back and forth. Borrow, lend, stake, earn some yields. USDC is flooded through there. Then you have the OG app, which is the Algorand app. Experience a full DeFi suite from Algorand's largest protocol: lending, borrowing, liquid staking, loan looping, DEX aggregator, and more. Over on the Algorand app, borrow, lend, obviously, liquid staking, because they have staking going on right now via node running, earn you, 3, 4, 5%. Liquid staking, you can take out a loan, loop it, borrow more to earn more yield, pay the loan back, you keep what you earn. DEX aggregator, tiny man, all the DEXs, find you the best deal. That's where you swap at. So pretty dope. Got to give them the shout outs there. So check out Folks Finance. Now, to some Algorand news. This is what's been happening in the ecosystem. So Algorand staking is now live on crypto.com. Head to crypto.com app to begin your staking journey today. Crypto.com is one of my favorite apps for crypto. I've been using that one for a while. Recently used Coinbase more, but crypto.com for the first several years in crypto was only crypto.com that I use, even the card. So Algorand has staking there. So you can go to crypto.com, you can deposit some Algorand and earn from the node running, from the yields. And that's how I found Algorand in the first place. When they were sending algos directly to your wallet, I was on Coinbase and I was like, damn, you can earn 7%. Sign me up. So that's a win. And then Algorand, big news for Algorand in Japan. Algorand is now listed on Japanese exchange CoinTrade. So there we go. Algorand's in Japan. They're going to exchanges all around the world to make sure that they have visibility. So the Japanese market, good money. And here we go. This is a part of what Algorand is doing to put itself in position for Washington, D.C. in the United States. So make sure they can contribute. But here's the post. We're happy to announce that the Algorand Foundation has joined the Blockchain Association, a group that plays an essential role in advancing crypto policy in Washington and beyond. Our CLO, that's the Chief Legal Officer, Jenny Levin, will be working closely with the Blockchain Association on policy engagement and advocacy efforts. That's big. And again, the Blockchain Association, what's important about the Blockchain Association is that the Blockchain Association is everywhere. So here it is. A seat at the table. Why Algorand Foundation joined the Blockchain Association. So they break it all down here in this write-up. So I'll say most important is probably here. We're proud to join a coalition of builders, innovators, advocates working toward a future where blockchain serves everyone. I'm looking forward to contributing to important work what the Blockchain Association is doing, especially in areas like tokenization, access, and responsible governance. The Algorand Foundation has begun participating in key working groups, and I'm eager to collaborate with the peers across the industry to help ensure the U.S. policy supports open networks, global access, and long-term innovation. That's the word from Jenny Levin right there. So they have working groups that deal with stable coins, that deal with DeFi, layer ones, etc. Jenny, as a lawyer with a great background, she has also worked in crypto. She worked in big industries like DraftKings, Fortune 500 type companies. She gonna go out there, get a seat at the table, and help contribute to policy and law, which puts Algorand business and company visible. That's positive. Now, let's talk about what's happening for the Universal Chess Passport. I covered this a little while back, but I think this is important to talk about again. Using blockchain-based digital identity and verifiable credentials for chess. This proposal, developed with our partners at World Chess, introduces portable, verifiable credentials for chess players, bringing fairness, reputation, and rewards into one unified system. And the most important part here is this, in my opinion. If adopted, this Universal Chess Passport will allow chess players to independently manage their identity and credentials across chess platforms and organizations. This means that players could port their identity, achievements, records of play, rankings, and rewards across not only various online chess platforms, but seamlessly from the digital world to in-person games and tournaments. For chess organizations, it means simpler verification of player identities and records, a new tool for maintaining integrity across both online and offline tournaments, a simple solution for transparently adjusting player ratings across various federations and more. So basically, utilizing a digital identity on the blockchain to go in and do what I just explained: in-person events, online rewards, records, ratings, etc. One passport, easy to move. So that's the power of blockchain, and Algorand is on point to do that. A new blockchain system that's secure, portable, and verifiable. Now, as we slowly start to close out on this Algorand update, this is what's happening this summer. Chief Marketing and Strategy Officer Mark will be speaking at Rare Evo in August. I know he was there last year, but this year he's going back. And then he's going to be speaking and letting people know what's happening in the Algorand ecosystem. And I have to say, hey, Mark, you're doing a great job. I interviewed him last year at the Algorand conference, and cool guy. Talked to him online a few times. He's on point. He's putting Algorand on the map, I would say. And this one here is one of the biggest other big things that's happening in the Algorand ecosystem right now. Unleash the power of decentralized spending. So this is the Paracard. The Paracard allows you to spend USDC. This USDC spending via Paracard is definitely in line with the Genius Act in the United States, the Genius Stablecoin Act. Perfect fit. They partnered with Immersive, and Immersive works with MasterCard. So directly from your Para wallet, you can spend USDC via MasterCard. That's in your App Store or Google Play. Currently, the beta is out in New Zealand, Spain, United Kingdom, Germany, Italy, and more countries to come. And I got something for y'all here I thought was very interesting from Lily. She spent out some USDC out in France to buy that Pluffy thing right there. La Boobas, I guess that's what it's called. But check this out.
My Algorand Paracard just got verified today, so I'm going to go shopping.
Do you want that, Google?
How much are they?
100.
100 euros?
Yeah, 100 euros.
I'll get it. With my my Paracard. Thank you, bye.
Thank you, bye-bye.
Le boobies secured.
If this is not a rare one, I'm selling everything. It's another Serenity. I have this one already.
Take two. If this is another Serenity, I'm gonna lose it. Oh my god! It's a
There we go. She showed it in real time, spent USDC in Europe to buy a physical item. The USDC transacts in seconds straight from the wallet to the merchant via MasterCard on the Algorand blockchain rails. That's the future of payments. Pretty dope display right there. Now, let's get to some more Algorand news before we get out of the Algorand ecosystem and dive deep into Base. Valor launches 8 new EPTs on Spotlight stock market, including Bitcoin Cash, Polygon, Algorand, Filecoin, Aerodrome, and Stacks. These is basically ETFs in the US. So broader exposure to top digital assets, accelerating progress towards 100 EPTs. So they're putting this on the market. This is out of Canada. DeFi Technologies, Inc., a financial technology company bridging the gap between traditional markets and decentralized finance, is pleased to announce that its subsidiary, Valor, and Valor Digital Securities Limited, a leading issuer of exchange-traded products, has launched 8 new SEK-dominated EPTs on Sweden's Spotlight stock market. So Spotlight stock market in Sweden, a Canadian company. Again, the key here for Algorand. Algorand is in the mix. It's in the mix. And I keep saying this is the last final thing, but I got one more thing for y'all. This is about Algorand's metrics. So this is from Masari. State of Algorand in Q1. We are in Q2. Key update for Q1. Algorand activates staking rewards, replacing governance payouts and boosting network security while pushing for greater decentralization. Right? We actually in Q3. Stablecoin market cap up 137%. Community held stake up 121%. Community stake share up to 67%. That's it right there. So Algorand's numbers are popping and going up and up and up. That's an update from Algorand. Now let's move on to what's happening in the Base ecosystem. For sure, y'all let me know how you feel about Algo. Now we're going to dive into Base. Why are we talking about Base? Well, I would say Base is the main layer 2 in the Ethereum ecosystem. Base is scaling Ethereum in ways that we have never imagined, backed by Coinbase. It has all the support it needs, and I could see Base eventually one day, potentially, passing Ethereum mainnet in every metric as well, where all activity goes to Base. Base is balling. So here's Aerodrome. We're going to talk about Aerodrome first. This is one of the many apps that I believe people should focus on, and they're bringing a lot of value to the Base ecosystem. Here we go. Epoch 96 recap. Last epoch, Aerodrome soared to new heights as all-time volume surpassed 225 billion. Here are the numbers. 2.41 billion in total volume, 313 million distributed in voting rewards. I got some of those. 54% of all DEX volume on Base. That's a lot. So over half of the volume on Base. We know Uniswap is there as well, but them boys over there cooking. And then this update I thought was very interesting. Launch liquidity in 3, 2, 1. The Aerodrome pool launcher is coming soon to make it quick and easy to deploy liquidity on Base. Launch a pool in minutes, earn 100% of swap fees, lock liquidity natively, grow your exposure. And then they say permissionless plus guided. Anyone can create a liquidity pool on Aerodrome. With a guided pool launcher, it will become easier than ever. This will mean that more tokens can launch directly into active liquidity and tap into Base's ecosystem from day one. And people are loving that. That's an interesting update. Base is or rather Aerodrome is about making sure that the users get to the bag. Now, here is the Aerodrome's platform. Once you get past the first page, you can see liquidity providers make low slippage swaps possible, deposit and stake liquidity to earn Aero. That's what a lot of people are doing. Deeper liquidity, so like concentrated, right? You got concentrated and in basic volatile. That makes all the swaps popping. Swapping here, all these different coins and tokens. Easily you get to it. This is the liquidity page. Obviously, you can see the ones with the most volume. Wrapped USDC and USDC. Wrapped ETH and USDC, over 200 million in volume in the last 24 hours. 86,000 in fees, 48 million in TVL. You can earn from concentrated. This is all concentrated right here. Then you got basic. And then basic hand lows popping right now with wrapped ETH. A whole bunch of different tokens. They got all the stablecoin pairs. So they're a deep liquidity hub, and you can make you some money out of here. Now, the voting mechanism, you got to sign in. I'm not signed in right now. But the voting is cool because you get money. So you provide your Aero, you receive V Aero, and then you get emissions from liquidity providers and then fees. So then you're voting for where liquidity should go as well, which helps you earn. So it's pretty dope. I like it. Let me know what you think about Aerodrome. Now, I'll say probably my favorite app on Base is Moonwell. So this is the lending and borrowing hub on Base, and it is popping just like Aerodrome. So you have Discover USDC anywhere. Lend USDC from top Ethereum networks and start building your tomorrow on Moonwell. And then they just had a new update here. Do more with your XRP. So the XRP army, welcome. Bring your XRP to Base and put it to work on Moonwell. And then, so again, my favorite thing to do is definitely a vault of USDC, earning 6.5% APY as of right now. But here we go, all the markets: Lombard, staked Bitcoin, Virtuals, Coinbase Bitcoin, Aero, USDC, Ethereum. Then they have the Optimism networks. All of the markets are lit. The rest of the markets are here, Morpho, right? Then you have the vaults. It's probably my favorite page. You can earn your Ethereum on your USDC, your Euro, your Coinbase, and your Moonwell on Optimism mainnet. This is USDC. You earn a higher rate actually on USDCs on Optimism. And then you got Moonwell staking. Right now it's at 9%. Close to 1 billion well staked. That's pretty dope. Then you stake and then earn, right? And then you have the governance here where you can vote on, especially this. This is the automated liquidity incentive proposal. So when you vote here and this passes, that yield that you earned on the staking page goes up. They take the fees and what the protocol has earned, do an auction, receive more Moonwell tokens, whale tokens, and then they send it back to us via stakers. Easy money, and it helps out the platform security and keeps value flowing back to the providers and users, and we all keep eating off of that. Now, the Moonwell team, Luke Youngblood and his team, has created another product. This product is called Mamo. Smart with money, easy on the nerves. So this is about the AI agents now we're going to talk about for the next two platforms. So it's very simple. Mamo helps you track, grow, and understand your money step by step without the fees. Without the stress. How Mamo works. Learn and earn with me, it says. Step 1, create a Mamo account. Step 2, deposit some funds. Step 3, watch your money grow. Right now, Mamo is telling you that you can earn 6.55% APY and 0.91 APY on your Bitcoin. Start simple, stay informed. So Mamo, like on Twitter and stuff, he'll tweet at you, talk to you, tell you what's happening. You can be like, Mamo, find the best yields from your USDC. It'll do that. It pays for the fees on the back end. It just helps you manage your money simply, smoothly, without much stress, as it says, without the stress. So I think that's a great product. It's using the technologies of our time right now, the AI, the blockchain, mixing it together for a financial agent that's in your pocket. Makes sense to me. Now, Virtuals, which is helping Mamo, we'll say, right? It helps all these AI agents. So you got Game, you got Axelrod, you got Mamo right there. These are all trending. These agents are all trending. And different agents are doing different things. So you got agents that make music. You got the financial manager agent. You have essentially a hedge fund agent, all kind of different agents. And at one point last year, agents was going insane. And right now, they're still doing their thing. So it's a whole bunch. I encourage y'all to check them out. This is a Virtuals dashboard. A lot of agents to learn about. And these agents all essentially come with investable coins. I think that is interesting. So Society of AI Agents, the Wall Street for AI agents. And here they are. You can co-own these agents. Some are dope, some are not. There's a lot of them out here. Autonomous businesses. It's crazy. It's like a lot to understand. But essentially, an AI that can make money for itself in you. It's pretty simple. If you pick the right one, you can make something happen. Now, to dive in deeper into Base, we have this platform. I used it many of times. This is Pods. Look like they gave a new update here. But Pods is basically, I think of it as Spotify for podcast on the blockchain, the Base ecosystem in general. So you can explore podcasts. You can own them. After you purchase them, they go directly to your Coinbase wallet, which we'll cover next, directly into your Coinbase wallet. And you can own it. It's a different creator economy, very interesting. They have different leaderboards for people who's collecting the most. Obviously, we are we're here as well. We gotta upload, so we're gonna be back on this platform here, and I like it. I think it's pretty dope. So we got a leaderboard here as well. Make sure y'all check out this platform. I just want to put that on your radar. But this is part of the Base on-chain economy. They're doing something totally different here. Got to get with it. And the Coinbase wallet. This is the main wallet of the ecosystem. Again, more creator economy stuff here. Coop Records, trending on-chain, mints, games, activities, tokens. All of that is there. Obviously, you can explore. This is the future of what they're building right here. Games, social, creators, finance, media. So you can use your Moonwell app, your Aerodrome, pods. You can mint music, NFTs, games, podcasts. It's all here, y'all. It is all here. And there's more updates coming, so we definitely going to be paying attention. But I like what they're doing here. And yeah, so as a media creator, I'm tapped in. All right, y'all. So remember a few weeks ago on our last, segments and deep dive, I was talking about Fiat Chain by Sylvia McCauley. So this is what the vote came down to. So I asked y'all about what do you think is going to happen. So Sylvia McCauley is back in the media, and he'll be talking to Rachel Wolfson in an exclusive interview. Question: will Fiat Chain help Algorand adoption? Y'all voted yes. It'll be good for Algo. 96%. 4% said no. All right. I think that sums it up. People think it's going to be a value add to Algorand. And then I hit y'all with another one. Which RWA coin performs best in Q3? Here's the options were Ondo Finance, Algorand, Stellar Lumens, and Ripple. People, 50% of the people here is 175 votes said Algorand. They said Algorand is going to perform the best. And I just covered all the stuff in Algorand that's happening recently. You know, pretty dope stuff happening. There's a lot more that we can talk about. If y'all been watching this channel, you've been hearing about it. But you got Ripple. People say 26% say Ripple is going to benefit or perform the best in Q3. We will see. Then Ondo came in third, 18%, and they said Stellar Lumens, number 6, will perform the least. Now, I got a new poll for y'all. Since we went through the Base ecosystem, the question here for this week is, which app/coin on Base is your favorite? I want you to consider the ease of use of the platforms, the value proposition, what they're bringing to the table, and price action, where you think you can make some money from too as well. So number 1, we got Aerodrome. That's the the DeFi platform for trading, swapping, liquidity providing. Moonwell, the whale token, borrowing and lending. Virtuals, which was the top performer in 2024 in Base. They the AI agent, Wall Street, stock marketplace. And then you got Mamo. Mamo is an agent that manages your wallet, your money, and help you get the best yields. Y'all, that's what's happening in the Base ecosystem. So make sure y'all place your vote. And on today's video, we talked about the hottest news in crypto. Again, happy 4th of July. We broke down what's going to happen with stablecoin regulations and crypto regulation in general. Went through the latest updates of Algorand, with the biggest being wormhole integration. And then we broke down what's going on in the Base ecosystem from the on-chain economy and how Base is scaling Ethereum like we all would have never imagined Base to do. And Base is leading. It's past Arbitrum, past Optimism, Polygon, all of them. Base is that guy. All right, y'all. Make sure y'all let me know any thoughts you have about today's deep dive video. Which segment did you like? The Algorand segment, the news segment, or the Base blockchain segment? Till the next time, y'all, have a great week, day. Stay blessed. Peace.
Passive income, gold in my dental, thank God for my mental. Investor fundamentals, told my girl it was simple.